Hi everyone, welcome again for our next lesson with A Course in Miracles, which is 156. We are getting going all the time, aren't we? It's like so fast how these lessons, doesn't seem 2 minutes ago since we were on lesson 1 and now we're on lesson 156. So here we go with today's lesson, and remember all of the information you need is under this video. So there's a link to today's lesson content and also all the information you need if you want to find out more about this wonderful course. So our statement of the day, our lesson of the day is, I walk with God in perfect holiness. I walk with God in perfect holiness. Keep that in your mind continuously today, continuously. Today's idea but states the simple truth that makes the thought of sin impossible. It promises there is no cause for guilt, and being causeless, it does not exist. It follows surely from the basic thought so often mentioned in the text. Ideas leave not their source. If this be true, how can you be apart from God? How could you walk the world alone and separate from your source? There's a real recognition today that you are this holy being. And if you go into another way of seeing the world, you've gone into the mistaken world, the programmed world of the ego. So recognize that today by saying the statement, I walk with God in perfect holiness, because that is what you are, perfect holiness. We are not inconsistent in the thoughts that we present in our curriculum. Trust must be true throughout, if it be true. It cannot contradict itself, nor be in parts uncertain and in others sure. You cannot walk the world apart from God, because you could not be without him. He is what your life is. Where you are, he is. There is one life. That life you share with him. Nothing can be apart from him and live. Wow, that's profound, isn't it? Because the life force that is running through us, that keeps us breathing and moving, is that God energy, that love energy. And without it, we would not be here. So we are having to recognize that source within us is our true essence. The mind and its thinking isn't. We've given that way too much power. It's time to give the energy itself the power. Listen to that to rise up and give us the right-minded thoughts, not the wrong-minded thoughts, which is kind of coming from the top down and causing all this destruction. Yet where he is, there must be holiness as well as life. No attribute of his remains unshared by everything that lives. What lives is holy as himself, because what shares his life is part of holiness, and could no more be sinful than the sun could choose to be of ice, the sea elect to be apart from water, or the grass to grow with roots suspended in the air. Nature quotes I love because I so resonate with nature, that's how I look for my evidence that, the great creator God love exists. You look in nature and you see it, how it moves through everything, and that is the grandest design. And we are too. I'm starting to do that with humans. I'm starting to look at another human as like a flower, that kind of thing. I have to keep reminding myself because I go into the programming mind at times and, all of the rubbish comes up. But it's that repetition. It is about repetition because we've been repeating the wrong ideas for so long. It takes discipline to start thinking the right way. There is a light in you which cannot die, whose presence is so holy that the world is sanctified because of you. All things that live bring gifts to you and offer them in gratitude and gladness at your feet. The scent of flowers is their gift to you. The waves bow down before you, and the trees extend their arms to shield you from the heat and lay their leaves before you on the ground, that you may walk in softness, while the wind sinks to a whisper round your holy head. Yes, have you ever walked in nature and just felt like it was sort of like you're walking through this parade, just giving you this absolute, when you're in that essence, the God essence, you You have a connection with the plants and the flowers and the trees and everything, the birds. And it's like that holy sort of like, it is like a church, you know, when you go into nature. It just, that is my church, you know, that is the where I feel my most holiness, because it brings me inside to who I am, because I can sense it, I can feel it in that place of wonder that is ever changing. It never ceases to amaze me, you know. It just, it's so amazing. The light in you is what the universe longs to behold. All living things are still before you, for they recognize who walks with you. The light you carry is their own, and thus they see in you their holiness, saluting you as Saviour and as God. Accept their reverence, for it is due to holiness itself, which walks with you, transforming in its gentle light all things unto its likeness and its purity. So nature recognizes what is in it, in you too. And there's that, like, it's like that coming together. It's like becoming one is like going for a walk in nature and like really absorbing it all. That's the feeling of oneness. And that's what we're aiming to do here. We're getting to that centered self so that then we can see the world from that energetic place, that place of life force, chi, all of these names it's been given. We all recognize it, but we don't connect with it. It's like we've created an external source of mind conditioning that is sort of putting it in a loop of distortion. It doesn't, you know, it's trying to get you to go somewhere, but this mind is pulling you in the wrong direction. It's almost like you've got to say, okay, just move over, please, ego mind. I'm going to take the reins now. I'm going to connect to my true source, sit back, and just enjoy the ride. Here we go. So this is the way salvation works. As you step back, the light in you steps forward and encompasses the world. It heralds not the end of sin in punishment and death. In lightness and in laughter is sin gone, because its quaint absurdity is seen. Is seen. It is a foolish thought, a silly dream, not frightening, ridiculous perhaps, but who would waste an instant in approach to God himself for such a senseless whim? There is a film out, I can't think of the title right now, but it was about emotions, like a cartoon, and there was like sadness and all of these things. If you can imagine in your mind, there's these two beings, you've got the love and then you've got the fear, which is kind of classed where all this sin is going, you know. And it's like you need to push the driver to the side and recognize when you are in that mode, you know, oh, I'm being driven by sin mind here, the mind that just wants to keep pulling me down, saying this is all wrong, you can't do this, you can't do that, no, this isn't right, I know the way, this is how it has to be, all of that. Push that to one side, let the love driver get into that seat and drive you to that place of wonder, excitement, joy, peace, serenity. So yet you have wasted many, many years on just this foolish thought. The past is gone with all its fantasies. They keep you bound no longer. The approach to God is near, and in the little interval of doubt that still remains, you may perhaps lose sight of your companion and mistake him for the senseless ancient dream that now is past. Who walks with me? This question should be asked 1,000 times a day till certainty has ended doubting and established peace. Today let doubting cease. God speaks for you in answering your question with these words. I walk with God in perfect holiness. I light the world, I light my mind and all the minds which God created, one with me. Right. So 1,000 times a day, can you do that? Keep repeating this 1,000 times a day. That's a pretty tall order, isn't it? But really it's saying as many times as you can, keep repeating this, keep reminding yourself, and this is the way we program, you know, we get that old programming out of the mind as many times as you can keep reverting back to the right mind, revert back, right to the right driver. Keep your mind in that place today of perfect holiness and know that you are walking in perfect holiness with God. Who am I walking with today? That's the question. Who walks with me? Who walks with me? Who drives with me? You know, who's driving with me? I like that way for me today. Who is driving with me? Is it love or is it fear? Okay, push to the side, fear. Stay with me, love, you know. Here we go. We're going to drive into this experience today. We're going to drive into this way of doing things today. We're going to drive wherever today and feel the holiness inside. So as always, the practice is down from 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. You could do a 5-minute or up to a 30-minute, preferably in the morning, then on the evening, doing this exercise, saying who walks with me, and then saying I walk with God in perfect holiness. I light the world, I light my mind and all the minds which God created one with me. So you're realizing you're holy, that you're lighting up the world and your mind, then the minds of others, and then you're connected. It's like that full circle of goodness. That is what this lesson is about. And then on the hour, every hour, 1,000 times a day, if you could do that, keep this message in your mind. Bring it to that place and just have like a beautiful, serene day, you know. Make it serene. Make it just like, love is going to guide me today. Love is going to guide me. I'm going to listen to love. I'm going to reach for love. I'm going to extend love. I'm going to be love. And I'm going to let love walk beside me, drive my body today in ways, with thoughts, with movements, with whatever it'll take for me to feel that peace, serenity and joy within me, you know. I want to feel the right mind. I don't want to go into the wrong mind. I don't want to listen to that programming anymore. I'm going to change that programming, so I'm going to be more aware of when it's coming. I'm going to shift it and let it go. That's our wonderful practice today. So enjoy the practice of I walk with God in perfect holiness. Enjoy, everyone, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.